My name is Zoe. I am the Tipsy Psychic. Today we're going to talk about the compatibility between a Pisces, Aries, Cusp, and a Cancer. This is the kind of couple that will get married just so that you cannot testify against each other in court. When it comes to loyalty, you do not mess around. You do not take chances. Your dreams can overpower your relationship, and everything you do starts in your dream world. You both know best. You're always right, and everyone else is always wrong. You don't have to have everything in common. Just make sure that you're still focusing on the same thing and that you're still on the same page to achieve the same outcome. Try to find a goal in common. You both have incredible imaginations, but try to put it to good use. It's kind of like your superpower. Remember, you can't control everything. You need to let things unravel. Trust the universe. Trust your karmic match to do its magic. You might feel like your Cancer is a carbon copy of you at times, and that might not be a good thing. Safety is very important here, and feeling secure is a major theme in your relationship. You both are extremely attracted to each other. You can find each other irresistible. You both have so much wisdom to give, and you can make sense of things in a way that others simply can't. And so you have a tendency to make other people your project. Quite often, this couple tries to set out and fix other relationships. Or they like to bring people together in a social setting, but you take it upon yourselves to teach people what you know. Do your best to open the eyes of your loved ones, because you might be that wake-up call that everybody needs. You may feel the tendency to be possessive. Yikes. The Cancer does not belong to you. And even if it's not to that extent, you need to loosen the reins and make sure that they have freedom and trust. Let them frolic, you know? Because if you don't let them have that freedom, if you don't let them have that and be that free and frolicky, then it's only going to stop you from growing and evolving in your relationship. You need to try to let go, wait and see. Take a chill pill, chillax. Oftentimes, obviously not all the time, but often you see them more as a family kind of dynamic than a love interest after a while. And this happens, but yeah, they feel too much like a close relative when things aren't working out. And that's a really good sign that you need to back away, because that means that things aren't where they're supposed to be. They're not working out. And it is a thing here. It's a thing in this relationship. It could be too comfortable and not challenging enough for you. You like a challenge. It's not unusual for this couple to have a collection or to own a lot of strange things. You both love sharing your ideas and you influence others strongly when it comes to your opinions. Together, you can start a revolution. You need to deal with confrontation head on. Be very direct when you're dealing with issues. When it comes to working together on projects, you need to try to stay focused. Keep using logic. You also need to remember not to give your wisdom away. Sometimes people need to earn your thoughts. And as much as you want to raise awareness, they also need to earn the right to listen to your wisdom and your advice. Not everyone is worthy of saving. Sue me. Like I care. You go through some really dark times and you need to be with someone who can show you the light, guide you. Someone who can raise you up. You raise me up so I can climb on mountains. I don't think that's how it goes, but whatever. You don't want a downer. You want someone who picks you up, you know? Makes you feel better about yourself, not someone who kind of drags you down. And a Cancer can be a downer. When you're feeling sad, they might be feeling sad too. And that's not what you need. It's hard to really connect on a deeper level when you're feeling so in the dark around each other. You both like to partake in creative hobbies, and you surround yourselves with things that you have manifested and that have inspired you. Together, you are very calm with what you know. Like, you got this. You're good at giving counsel to people. The problem is that not everyone wants to listen to your counsel. They don't all care what you have to say, and it can be frustrating. So you can't take that the wrong way. You just have to talk to people who are willing to listen. People who are willing to have an open mind. The truth is, are you ready for it? Not everyone cares as much as you do. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. If you want your love life to make sense, you're going to need to take the time and observe and process things. This is very important for the success of your relationship, okay? This is also a very sexual pairing. In fact, sex can become a very strong addiction in this relationship. So make sure you're keeping an eye out for the signs. I know you want to change the world and spread your ideas, but you need to make sure that you're taking care of you and letting other people take care of themselves. Focus on yourself more. You might feel like your Cancer is too much of a downer. You might find that your past traumas and experiences will resurface when you're together. And it's something that is really going to be a challenge with you and your Cancer. The triggers could come from anywhere. They could be self-manifested, or you could just run into a trigger that enables you to feel your trauma. Look, different relationships will affect you in different ways. You see things in a very creative way, and you let your fantasies take over. When it comes to giving advice, you don't really have to use facts to back it up. You don't usually use facts. You don't need them to back up and support your ideas. You influence people with your charisma. You're just really good at giving advice, and you don't need a lot of things to back it up. You need to learn from your mistakes. That's how you're going to grow in your relationship. No one can tell you what to do. It's something that you will have to figure out through trial and error with your Cancer. If you're both meant to be, then you can last a really long time with just your fantasies to fuel your relationship. Many times, you're usually closer after a relationship or a fling than actually during one. A common scenario is that you have an affair or a one-night stand, and then after things die down, you decide to stay friends and you decide to be very connected and close. You two have a very powerful connection when that happens. You can open each other's eyes, but it's just really hard to do. And you both have to be very emotionally committed to each other to make it work. You need to be with someone who is self-sufficient, but who knows that you have their back. And a Cancer could definitely be that to you. You both need to take the time to try to understand each other if you want things to work. This relationship never really gets boring because you're so influenced by the experiences that you try to have with each other and the activities that you do. Like, there's always something new to try with them. You need to start trying to incorporate more people in your fun, add more people to your life, add more people to your circle. This is definitely the kind of relationship that could have a threesome. Neither one of you has trouble responding to arguments. You love to defend your views. If you're giving advice and someone doesn't like your advice, you have no problem coming up with another way to convince them. Somehow you always know what to say. You will really like how imaginative and creative your Cancer is. They have the best ideas, but they aren't necessarily the best at making them happen. And that's something that you will push them to do. And they are usually the lovesick ones in this combination. They can get into this obsession with their love for you, and you may not feel it back, which torments them even more. It's very common for this pairing to have one-night stands. You usually have sexual encounters, but they are very quick and they don't last very long, no matter how seduced by each other you are. You could feel very content with your Cancer, and you wouldn't necessarily question anything. You wouldn't question how they feel about you. When you're first meeting your Cancer, they might be the ones to command the relationship. They can be assertive, but so can you. You're not very good at stepping down or being bossed around, and you won't just hand over the reins. Oh no. When you first meet, you two either go all in and get very cheesy and romantic, or you just decide to stay friends. But you usually don't consider anything in between. Your connection with them is very complex. Cancer is very perceptive, and they will always be able to sense when something isn't going well for you. They can handle your mood swings without you feeling smothered. If you are feeling off, they will know it. If you're not into it and the Cancer is infatuated with you, they have a tendency to do everything that they can to make you love them. Because they are addicted to you in a way, and they can lose themselves in the process, which is very bad. They shouldn't disrespect themselves and forget their own pride for you or anyone. It's very hard to come back from that for them, and it takes a lot of healing. Marriage usually doesn't happen for this couple because there isn't enough balance and security to keep the marriage going most of the time. You might drive your Cancer insane with how impulsive you are. Gosh, impulsive much? You can be very unpredictable, and it can drive them nuts. If you really want your relationship to stand a chance, then you are going to have to be the one to call the shots. The Cancer has to be able to hand over the reins to you. The other thing is, when you decide to date a Cancer, there can be a lot of jealousy and insecurity and anxiety because you have the tendency to check other people out. And if you don't usually have this tendency, then you might find yourself doing it here. You might find yourself being attracted to someone else, and whether you decide to bring that into your relationship sexually or not, that's up to you. Cancer can be very insecure about it, and they might get very clingy. It can cause a lot of tension. Your Cancer might not necessarily be your type. You might feel like your Cancer is too aggressive for your taste, and that's not something that you're usually drawn to, so it can cause complicated feelings. You're both very empathic, which is really going to help you understand each other a lot better. If you're not interested in them and they are very interested in you, then they might be in denial about it. They don't realize that it's not gonna happen. It can make them down spiral and get very depressed. Sometimes to avoid conflict, your Cancer might let you win an argument or make you feel like you're the one who wears the pants, even if they don't necessarily believe it. They just don't want to fight about it. While they're still kind of manipulating things behind the scenes, they like to let you think that you have the power. Cancers can have a really big temper. If right now you're with a Cancer and they don't seem unstable and they don't lash out at you, and you're the one who usually gets more emotional, just you wait. Things are just probably building up so much that they will explode eventually. So just know that if you're not really fighting, things are calm, that's probably not the case. They're probably just pushing down their feelings, letting them fester to avoid problems, which will only cause them to resurface in a more aggressive way later. Another problem that can cause tension. If you are in charge and things are going in the right direction, you have a very straightforward way of communicating, and they might be oversensitive, they might feel offended and take things the wrong way, which can cause problems as time goes on. The other problem is that Cancers can be jealous, and they might not show that they're jealous, and they might not express their insecurities. Instead, they find ways to keep you there. even sometimes being very manipulative to do so. They have different ways, maybe less obvious ways, of keeping you on a leash. With a Cancer, you will be forced to face your demons. If there's something that you really don't like about yourself, you will find that you will have to deal with it more when you are dating a Cancer. When you're with a Cancer, you might be even more aware of your flaws. That is something that you might have to live with. Cancer can have selective hearing, and even if you think a fight is over, they might stir it up again at any moment. Rejection hurts, and you rejecting a Cancer will hurt. They do not handle rejection well from you. A Cancer would probably be a better spouse than you if you got married. Sorry. They're much better at managing relationships than you are. Cancer works behind the scenes, and you may not even realize that they are still pulling the strings and making things happen. You won't like how manipulative they are. You're not fond of scheming, and it will drive a wedge between the two of you. Cancer doesn't like to be bossed around, and they don't like that you are fully in control. And so they'll try to work from afar. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you guys so much. If you were born on the cusp of Pisces and Aries, or if you're a Cancer, please comment below. Yeah, let me know. I would love to hear your story. Do you agree with this? Like, is this totally off? I don't know, but I would love to hear your love story or your thoughts. Are you interested in a Cancer or a Pisces Aries cusp? And tell me all about it. Okay. Please subscribe to my channel for more awesome videos. I'm so excited. I have so many cool ones coming up. And yeah, bye-bye.